Hi there, welcome back, and it's round 5 of the WTRL Zwift Racing League. Here we are in Cat C. It's the Two Bridges loop. Looks quite flat, but it's got that big lump of a hill towards the end and a couple of wee rollers at the start. It's going to be quite an attritional race, probably the last one for the sprinters, because next week is Teviot Well and it's horrible. Anyway, off to the start we go. 3, 2, 1, and away we go. As with every Zwift race, the power is heavy off the start line, 500 plus watts, 5.5 watts a kilo. I've seen 8 watts a kilo from some of the other people's power graph on the side there. Yeah, this one hurts. So we're going to go through the start-finish banner and start lap 1. 3 laps for the Cat Cs. And we're still knocking on the door of 500 watts, but it is starting to calm down, and as I like to stay towards the front, we can see, if we look at the numbers on the right hand side, that says first, and that's the only time it's going to say that today. So on we go, and as we've come down the rollers, we are into the hill here. They say that the true knowledge is to know oneself, and I know I'm not getting over that hill, certainly not with the lead group anyway. So we've got a van power up. We're going to sit back just a little bit, see if anyone's going to brake, and then we can use the van to try and get some of these first across the line points. And it's a downhill, then across the bridge, fast sprint, and you can see that already Neeson from VCC is away. I go after him, pump the van power up, and I'm followed by Team NL's absolute powerhouse Durnboss, and look at the numbers he's going to put out here. 10.2 watts he goes past me, 11.8 at the peak, and did I just see 13 flash on screen? That guy's insane. Anyway, we keep powering on into second place, and we just sneak it ahead of Dom Chapman from Rafa. The fastest through is just one and done, so they're all sorted out on lap 1, and then it starts to get a little bit climby as things start to spread apart here. We come to the hill, the proper part of the hill. It starts to pick up, and you can see it's just sort of broken up a little bit, and the gap is just starting to open. I can't close it. I'm still gassed from the sprint effort. Heart rate's still pretty high at 180 plus beats a minute. Just a real sickener to watch a group just like gradually pull away from you. If they all go when you're knackered and popped on a hill, that doesn't seem so bad, but when they just gradually sneak away, it's absolutely heartbreaking. Teammate Ronnie there trying to close the gap, but ultimately kind of futile, and they're going to be away. We did have one more chance to catch them, and maybe if I hadn't competed for that sprint, then we might have been able to. You can see as the road picks up to sort of 5% here, and the power goes on at around 400-ish watts. There's a possibility if I'd really pushed and really had something, I could have maybe tagged on to the main group, but it just wasn't to be. Even with 400 watts and coming past a couple of people here, but I was never really going to be able to keep the power on. It's probably something I need to work on, is, maybe 5-minute power, just to be able to push and get back on, and then get a little rest, sit in the draft. I would have been dropped the next lap, obviously, but at least it would have maybe given me a chance to get some more first across the line points, but it just wasn't to be, as they start to pull away and disappear into the distance. And that would be the absolute last time that we saw the lead group. So it would sort of settle down, and we would wind up with a group of sort of 3 of us here as we are on the sprint for the second lap. I don't know if he thought he was going to get fastest through, but it was never really going to happen without a big bunch. But the results there, Durnbos again, the guy is just a machine. Taylor of STW and Christoph Prus getting the first across, and here we go. The weather's taking a turn for the worse. The weather kind of feels like my mood being dropped on this course. Just wish I could have stayed with it, but I cut to it because I thought you might like to see the pain and suffering that I have to go through each week for the WTRL. And I mean, next week will be real pain and suffering because it's a proper climbing course. But out the saddle, put down a bit of power and just try to get over this lump. In case you're wondering, why is there no power up active? Did I get a dodgy power up? No, I got a lovely power up. I got a feather, but when I was wiping my brow with my towel, I put it down on the side, on the windowsill. You see I'm close to a window in that picture. I put it down on the side, and my towel hit the space bar on my keyboard and used up my feather power up literally on the flat before the climb. That was also pretty heartbreaking. It really sucks. So no power up to help me get over the hill. And Ronnie's still there. He is. I suspect he probably could have left me if he'd really kicked on, but he didn't. And we stayed together, a little group of sort of two and a half, as Martin was there. But we did get someone else in our sights. Martin just, I guess he couldn't quite hang after the climb. And next up was Hornsby from Redcar Try. He was in the sights, and he was duly swept up by the ZwiftRiders Scotland train. It's only a 2-carriage train. It's just a short train. It's not a rush hour train. We're 27th place. It's definitely not a rush hour train. So on we went to the last lap through the sprints. Again, absolutely no point in attempting anything here. We were never going to get fastest through the section. We didn't have enough people in the group. But through the line we went. Wouter Timmers, Team NL, once again, clean sweep for them. Henrik Nyssen and Nick Wright from Durasports getting the points there as well. Good for them. And that takes us on once again to, you've guessed it, the horrible hill. But we have found a couple of other people in our sights now. Walker and Benfield, and they get swept up. And if there's one thing I'm absolutely sure of, is that after 31 minutes of racing, I am not going to trust myself in a sprint. So I've decided that we'll put an effort in over the toughest part of this hill, see if we can get some of them away. It's not going to get extra points, but I'd really rather finish in the high 20s rather than the mid 20s. I guess I'm too competitive like that. So out of the saddle we get, and time to get some power on and see if we can drop some of these guys. Benfield, as you can see from the screen on the right side there, he was already gone and he would be swept up. So that just left me, Ronnie, Hornsby and Walker, and the gap was opening. I could already see that the two other hangers-on, Walker and Hornsby, were flagging a little on the climb. Ronnie, as you can see, was not hustling past on that luminous yellow Tron. And I knew I had to try and catch him. I knew I had to put down some power and dig deep. You can see the face in the webcam absolutely blowing out my backside by this point, 190 plus beats a minute. But knew if I could catch him, then we could just sort of TT the last 1500 metres and stay away. And stay away we did, with the gap increasing 7 seconds. And we would just scoot across the line here. Ronnie activates the van, so I'll push in front to try and give him something to draft off, make use of that power up in the last couple of 100 metres. And on we go. The relief, the sweet, sweet relief of the arch is right there. Where Ronnie can pull out 6.5 watts in a sprint at the end, I have absolutely no idea. I'll just sit at 1.9, 1.6 and call it a day. So the overall results, and it's obviously Durn Boss from Team NL winning yet again. He's won every race. Brendy and Bruce from Vattel's Tour, and then two of ours in the top 5 with Dino and Richard. Great results from them, and the overall results, Team NL take the first place, obviously, then WCC, and we get the 3rd place. So it's 5th for Vattel's Tour, and that's great for us because they're our nearest competitors, so a bad race from them. The overalls, you can see 98 points, Team NL are gone, but only 2 points separating us from 2nd place. I will see you next time for some real suffering. Goodbye.